Good morning and welcome to Kennedy Meadows, gateway to the Sierra on the Pacific Crest Trail. I'm currently leaving Kennedy Meadows and I'm headed into my very first stretch of the Sierra on my PCT journey. I am very excited and I hope I'm ready for what's ahead. I've done many trips, hundreds of miles in the Sierra, so I feel pretty confident, but it's still a little earlier in the season than I've ever been back to most of these backcountry places. So some surprises ahead, I'm sure. Anyway, I am getting started. I took the 7 a.m. shuttle from Grumpy Bear's Resort here in Kennedy Meadows, where I've been staying for a few nights, and I am eager and ready for what's ahead. Still a little bit of lower elevation stuff happening today, starting out just above 6,400 feet, I think, and I am gonna get up to about 8,000, 10,000 feet, depends on where I end up today, but basically 8,000 feet will become the new base for me for the next several weeks. So gotta get some miles in before it gets too warm down here though. Wow, how pretty is that? Ah, amazing. All right, I came up over the first pass, headed down, and hopefully the trail looks like it's gonna lead me into that stand of trees, which is great because I'd like to take just a little break in the shade, put my feet up, eat something, drink enough water, maybe some electrolytes, that whole thing. At the end of the day, it's common for me to look at my hiking shirt and see a white cast around the area that I've been sweating throughout the day. And for me, that's a visual representation of the sodium that I've lost throughout my athletic endeavors. That's why every single day on the Pacific Crest Trail, I have reached for my favorite electrolyte drink, which is Element. Why Element? Because Element is backed by a scientific ratio of 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium without any junk. Depending on my perceived exertion level for the day, I'm gonna reach for one or more of these packets to help save away headaches, muscle cramps, which can be huge for me, and also fatigue. Sometimes after drinking one of these, I'm gonna feel so much more energized. And if I really want a special kick, the new thing that has become such a favorite of mine, iced tea and lemonade with 50 milligrams of caffeine. And I just love midday throwing that into a bottle of my water. It's gonna give me that little extra boost to get me through the afternoon. Right now, Element is offering my viewers a free 8-count sample pack of Element's most popular drink mix flavors with any order. That's 8 single-serving packets free with any Element order. Yeah, that's the stuff. This is a great way to try fan favorite flavors or share Element with a salty friend. Get yours at drinkelement.com/nomad. This deal is only available through my link. You must go to drinklmnt.com/NOMAD. Found the perfect little spot right here. This is actually a little tent site. And so it's pretty cleared of the duff, which is the primary problem. It's so pleasant here right now. There's a breeze. Yay. Oh, already so dirty. Oh boy. Dude, how did I get so dirty? Look at my face. Oh my gosh. That is weird. Well, I can wipe it off, but I'm also going to be camping near water tonight, so I can get clean. I'm actually only 3.8 miles away from camp, and it's only 1:30, so I'm gonna get to camp pretty early today, which is nice because I had a terrible night's sleep last night at Grumpy's in Kennedy Meadow, where I took 2 zeros. For those that don't know, zeros mean I hiked 0 trail miles that day, so basically took a day off. So yeah, I would like to get to camp early, and this place I'm going to camp should be near a bridge. There should be the South Fork of the Kern, should run under the bridge, and it's, I guess, a meadow or borders a meadow called Menanche Meadow. And I'm pretty sure I went to that place as a kid with my dad and my grandpa and uncle. I think there's a Jeep road that leads out to there or something, 4x4 road, and we probably went there and they went fishing and I think like throwing axes and stuff like that. I remember. Excited to see it again, I guess. But for now, I'm just gonna take a little bit of a break, and that way I'm not feeling like death when I roll into camp in 4 miles. Now that I'm saddled with this handy dandy bear vault, mandatory bear canister, I also have a surface on which to prepare my food. Look at me, classy lady. Also, usually for lunch, I don't have to like pull out my whole food out of my backpack, thus everything else that's on top of it. But the food that I had out for today to eat for lunch, I don't feel like eating it. I do feel like eating this. So thought I'd go ahead and just get out the food that I felt like eating to make sure that I actually eat it. Oh yeah, peanut butter and Oreos in a tortilla. What an amazing masterpiece this is. Wow. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Look how beautiful this is. Wildflowers. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Look at the distance. Wow. I just saw some deer. Scared me a little bit. Not because it just surprised me, that's all. Because I haven't really seen large mammals on this trail yet. I have seen, I think, 1 deer and a small fox so far on the entire trail. So I just saw 2 deer. Cool. Yay. Look at this beautiful tree. Wow. That is a gorgeous tree. Actually pretty warm. Oh my goodness. It's so nice. Today was probably one of my favorite days on trail so far. I did about 14.5 miles, gained, I don't know, somewhere a little under 3,000 feet of elevation, I think. And it felt really easy. Felt really easy. My body feels solid. Cardio. I didn't have any pain. And of course the trail was absolutely beautiful. It wasn't too hot. It wasn't too cold. Yeah, it was just a stunning, stunning day. And then this amazing campsite really tops it off. I could have gone further today, but I didn't want to. I wanted to camp here and I have time. So I'm enjoying it. Making dinner right now, and then I'm probably going to get to bed early tomorrow. I think I'm going to do like 18 miles. I thought I was going to do 14 and a half again, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. Good morning. I got a late start today because I was just so cozy at that camp near the South Fork of the Kern in the meadow. So yeah, I didn't leave camp until, actually I don't remember what time. But I'm 3 miles from there now, and I'm just stopping to drink some water before I start a 3-mile climb that will have me gaining about 1,700 feet in elevation, and it'll put me at just over 10,000 feet. I'm gonna go higher than that today, but this next 3 miles is kind of steep, and then it becomes like a more gradual trail again, so will be less taxing. But I just want to get some good hydration in before I start on that ascent. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm feeling the altitude. Holy smokes. I mean, I don't have like altitude sickness or anything, but my lung capacity, or like my cardio capacity, is definitely less than. Look at the texture on this tree trunk. Oh my goodness. This is where it fell from, so we can see the twisting started early. Oh, you can see inside. Wow, pretty cool. Seems as though mosquito season is upon me here, so I am layered up in an absorbent amount of DEET to try to keep them away. It's only sort of working. And I'm having dinner. I tend to set up over yonder. I only did 12 miles today, but I stopped because I'm about to drop down into a meadow. In that meadow and beyond, there are recent reports of a cinnamon-colored black bear that has become too comfortable with people, their campsites, and knows that campers have food. So in order to not be part of the problem, I stopped short of going down there, which is kind of where I was initially going to camp. Anyway, I'm just having dinner in a few minutes. I'm hydrating. This Peak refuel meal needs 10 minutes usually, but I'm at high elevation, so I'll give it 15 minutes to rehydrate. And then I'm just going to pack everything up in my bear can and go to bed. Beautiful meadow views in the morning. Just finishing up a morning break, and I'm about to start the climb for the day. Hopefully it'll take no more than 3 hours. should be, it's less challenging than yesterday, but I am experiencing some nausea. I started experiencing nausea last night, and I think it's attributable to the altitude. But yeah, I hope that passes because it feels kind of yucky. There's a look at the mountain I came up over yesterday. The peak up there is called Olancha Peak. And while we didn't summit, we got pretty close to it. Up where it kind of levels off near the peak is where we kind of came down from. And we came down this side here. Day 58 on the PCT. I just finished my climb for the day and I'm stopping for a bit of lunch while overlooking the Owens Valley over there. Don't have too much more today. I think the maximum I'll do is like maybe 9 more miles. We'll see. But I'll be headed out from Horseshoe Meadow tomorrow. And I just satellite texted my Aunt Catherine. She's gonna pick me up. So I'll have all that settled. And yeah, just chilling. Having a great time in the Sierra so far. Bare footprints. Another really solid day here in the Sierra. It's nice to have a change of daily routine from when I was in the desert. So for about 600 miles of this trail, I was in pain pretty much constantly if I was hiking. And sometimes even when I wasn't hiking. I started the trail with a sprained ankle, and it really just, there were aches and pains that added on, which is somewhat normal-ish maybe, but I think it was probably a bit worse than normal. And then my body started to catch up, catch on, and I started to develop some trail legs in the high desert. However, the desert presented its own series of challenges, including very hot days, which required that I hiked early in the morning, that I made miles, that I got to the water source, that I found shade, that I took a siesta, and then I hiked into the evening until after dark a lot of times. And so it meant that my sleep was disrupted and it felt kind of stressful. I started to feel stronger in my body, but the stress of making those miles and doing it on time and managing the heat was challenging. And now here I can hike all throughout the day. I have plentiful water sources, and it just feels amazing that my body is not in pain. There are times when I experience a bit of discomfort, and of course I get tired, but I'm not in pain, and I'm just so happy about that. Things will change a little bit with my schedule in the Sierra as I start heading towards these larger mountain passes that are going to start in my next segment. And the reason for that is basically the rule is to try to get over the pass in the morning. So there'll be a little bit of pressure for that, and I do understand it, but right now I'm just soaking in what I have. I will say that my nausea has not completely subsided today, so I've set up camp. I'm looking at this gorgeous meadow, and my views will be my dinner tonight. I have so much food in my bear can, which I've already hiked and hidden away. But I just don't have the appetite to eat any of it. And last night my sleep was really disrupted by my stomach just feeling unwell after eating dinner. So I kind of just don't want to eat tonight. I think I'll sleep better. I only have a few miles to hike tomorrow, and I told my Aunt Catherine that I would be at Horseshoe Meadows for pickup by noon. So I have plenty of time to do those miles. Maybe I'll be able to eat something in the morning. But for now, I think I'm just going to relax and enjoy these beautiful views and the fact that it's not too terribly buggy and, geez, just feels like paradise. Yesterday when I was searching for a campsite around Dutch Meadow right over here, so the water source is back over there. There's some PCT designated campsites, I guess. Dispersed camping is available out here, but that's kind of like where the app tells people that there's a spot they can put their tent. Anyway, there were people over there, so I kind of wanted to come out here and do my thing. So I walked along the edge of this meadow for quite a while, and the ground was really sloped. But I finally landed on this spot here. But as I was walking back further out, I had noticed that there seemed to be a bit of a faint trail. And just now, when I was looking at my map and how to link back up to the PCT, I noticed that there is indeed on the map something called the Dutch Meadow Spur Trail. And that trail links up with the cutoff that I need to take to get down to Horseshoe Meadow. So I think what I'm going to do is actually just follow that faint little trail and see if I can get myself to link up. Little cross-country action this morning, I guess. Let's go. Horseshoe. Look at the horseshoe. Still following the faint trail along the creek. There is Horseshoe Meadows down there. So just making my way down this way still a bit. Probably for a few more minutes of downhill, and then I'll link up with the Mulkey Meadows Trail, I think is what it's called. But it's basically, this trail will dead end into that one, and I'll just head on down. I misspoke before. That is actually Round Valley behind me. Horseshoe Meadow is still up ahead, so I'm carrying on, which I needed to do anyway, but I just called that the wrong thing. It's Round Valley.